Hello, meatbags.
Oh shit! The fuck are you doing? I'm sad as hell.
Today, I am finally gonna do something that most people have been waiting for.
Cute and canny, more than just one out of many.
Here we go. Proceed.
The purpose of this video is for me to be able to respond to some of the most common arguments I saw in the comment section of my last video about harassment. This is an open letter to YouTube in which I'm going to discuss some harassment that I have received. However, this video is in no way intended to be directed at my harassers. I genuinely want to spend no time directly addressing them because to me that's a waste of time.
If you aren't, then why?
Oh what?
Are you telling your critics, your harassers, to shut up and do what you say in order to make a proper video response? Also, a waste of your time? But people had made videos on you, so are you a waste of time? To them? No. To me?
Nope.
It's how we do it here on the internet. If we find something wrong, we make a claim that you are wrong, and here's our reason and evidence why that is. You see, you got popular because you basically called every cis white gender man, possibly women as well.
White people are racist, all men are misogynistic, all cisgender people are transphobic.
And people wanted to say back off. She's only 17 years old. No. If she's gonna throw her shit over the wall, people are going to throw their shit back thrice as hard. And you're calling out harassment and cyberbullying in order to shut them down and up. If someone makes a video on you, be proud of that.
Live your motherfucking life. You gotta get your motherfucking hustle. Understand niggas is gonna hate you regardless. Get that out of your head, that fantasy world where niggas ain't hating on you. You gotta be grateful. You need haters. What the fuck is you complaining about? What the fuck do you think a hater's job is? To fucking hate. So let them motherfuckers do their goddamn job. What the fuck is you complaining about? Ladies, if you got 14 women hating on you, you need to figure out how the fuck to get to 16 before the summer get here. The fuck is you mad about? Fellas, if you got 20 haters, you need 40 of them motherfuckers. What is you complaining about? If there's any haters in here right now that don't have nobody to hate on, feel free to hate on me.
If you have not seen that video, you should watch it before you watch this video, because otherwise this video probably won't make much sense.
I did. It was dumb.
One of the most common responses I got in the comments were from people saying that none of the harassment that I'm getting has anything to do with me being non-binary and transgender. White people are racist, all men are misogynistic, all cisgender people are transphobic.
It's not because you're a confused woman, but here's a good question. How can you be a non-binary but identify as another gender? How ass backwards is that? It's how your view on transgender, which means you are transitioning from one sex to the other, but you view it as playing dress up. And the fact you say you prefer he, him pronouns, but at the same time you don't identify as a male.
And I also identify as non-binary, but my non-binary identity doesn't really consist of any maleness. I'm mostly like female and like other.
Look, you're either one or the other, so I'm going to call you a woman till you go through the process of transitioning, because you're just playing dress up. And people who are actually not comfortable in their own bodies are the ones who are actually suffering through some shit. And you call us the insensitive ones.
To those people, I say, you completely do not understand my situation or what I'm talking about.
But you know who does? Blair White, who did a video on your bullshit, and she's also trans and she can't stand you and the people like you.
Actually, to be honest, I think it's because too many voices like yours are being heard when it comes to trans people. You otherize us and you make it seem like we're some special unicorn that requires very specific ways of speaking to us and behaving around us, and you make us look like the freaks.
The reason most of us call her a she is because she has gone through and is still going through the process of transitioning. You are still playing dress up.
At all about this genre of YouTube videos. In fact, most of the arguments that I'm going to be responding to in this video are from people who think that the harassment all started from the video I made about subconscious biases, which some people think I removed. I actually just changed the title, but I'm going to talk about that later. Really, this harassment issue is something that I've been dealing with since the beginning of this year, and that a lot of my friends also deal with. It is absolutely not just about this one specific video. Alright? Okay, cool.
Get on with it!
I'm not saying that I'm attacked purely because of my transgender and non-binary identities.
Then what the hell was this about?
One of the most common responses I got in the comments were from people saying that none of the harassment that I'm getting has anything to do with me being non-binary and transgender. However, those do play a significant part in the harassment that I have received.
Like from Miss White here and many of us saying stop playing dress up and buy a pair. And quit treating yourself as if you're some special snowflake unicorn that's never been seen before.
I've been getting this sort of targeted harassment since the very beginning of this year, when a fairly popular YouTuber responded to a video that I made with one of my friends about transgender people's pronouns and educating people on how to use pronouns for transgender people.
Oh, you mean Undoomed? It was Undoomed. You know, Undoomed was the one who talked about your video. Undoomed, yeah, it was Undoomed. Because we all know you're talking about Undoomed, so why not just come out and say his name? Come on, tell us it was Undoomed. Did I mention it was Undoomed that made that video yet? Why is it that people like you won't say who made the video that was so damaging to you that they become he who shall not be named? What are you thinking? I can't help their channel grow. He does it fine on his own, thank you very much.
So that particular roasting video was about 90% transphobia.
Oh, your God. He was explaining how stupid it was that you think people had and will remember every pronoun you, your friend, and all of the social justice warrior Tumblr morons come up with in the next passing second. And if we ever say the wrong thing, we are labeled as transphobic for assuming your goddamn gender.
Since then, other people have made roasting videos that weren't just specifically about being transgender, but their responses were also sort of transphobic.
Disagreement does not equal transphobic or harassment. Get over yourself.
There is a huge difference from just being uneducated about non-binary genders and then trying to make an effort to learn about non-binary genders. But a lot of people have responded to my videos not even making any attempts to educate themselves and just spewed out just gross transphobic arguments.
Like Miss Blair did? So she's labeled as transphobic. A trans woman is transphobic. Are you fucking kidding me?
Specifically against non-binary people. In their responses, lots of people have referred to me as a creature or compared non-binary genders to identifying as an inanimate object or animal or something else that is not what non-binary genders are.
There are trolls on the internet who want to get under your skin, and then there's people who try to inform you what you're saying is destructive. And since people like you constantly make up genders all the fucking time, and you yourself say there are thousands, if not millions of genders instead of the just fucking two.
Everyone's gender is different. There are infinitely many genders because no one experiences their gender in the exact same way. That is why I've started the hashtag 76 genders, even though there are probably more like millions of gender.
So, you saying that people can't be attacked helicopters, a dog, or a helicopter dog, you're being transphobic. You see how retarded this has become when you just throw around a word so willy-nilly?
Or lots of people have also just disregarded and completely disrespected the fact that non-binary genders exist and are real.
My God, they didn't say they weren't real. They know that trans exist. But what they're saying that you are creating more and more genders every day and actually taking it seriously. That's why they're poking fun at you. That's why people identify as attack helicopters. Because they cannot take it seriously when you demand everyone to treat you like you are some special royal class.
Lots of other people intentionally misgender me in their comments and in their responses. Like, I get it if you just don't know, and you don't know to check that my pronouns are in my description, because they are, preferably he or they.
They didn't forget. Like I said, trolls, they're doing it on purpose. Though, I call you a woman because you are. You even identify more as a woman than a man, so you're a fucking woman.
Mostly like female and like other. But a lot of people see that I put my pronouns in my description and then choose to not refer to me as those because they want to disrespect me.
Oh, did you figure that on your own now?
Of course, not all transgender.
What is that? You've done that frequently in a lot of videos. What is it for, like inner monologues or something? Or you just don't want to cut that out?
YouTubers receive the same level of transphobic harassment as I receive.
Everyone receives harassment in some ways. Even your people even harass cis white gender people into killing themselves and feeling bad about themselves because they are transphobic for not using your pronouns.
Part of that is because of the type of content that I make. I make content in which I talk about my experiences being transgender, in which I talk about my experiences facing transphobia and trying to fight transphobia.
But the way you're going about it is like you trying to have everyone on their toes, walking around as if there was glass on the floor. Not only that, you make it seem that you were trying to have everyone handle trans people with kid gloves that need to be talked to a special way and need their hand held everywhere they go. Like Blair said, you're making trans look like freaks because they need to be treated specially, even though you want them to be treated like regular ass cis white gender people.
There are a lot of YouTubers who are transgender and who don't talk about these things.
I'm just gonna keep bringing her up. Miss Blair White is trans. She doesn't focus that on her. She focuses it on other issues that are facing America and everywhere else. Real things. What you're doing is basically making trans people look like freaks. Hell, she'll bring up that she's trans, but that's rarely because she is not so egotistical like you.
So they don't get the same type of responses that I do.
They don't, because you're such a special little snowflake. No cis white gender man or woman doesn't get harassed. No one. It's just the trans. It's just women. It's just the blacks. It's just the Muslims. It's never. White people don't get harassed. White men never get harassed. This is so stupid.
Because I talk about my transgender identity online a lot, which, by the way, there's nothing wrong with doing that. It's just something I have a lot of experiences with and that I choose to talk about. But because I talk about it, some people think that I'm shoving it in their face.
Sometimes you come off doing that. Like when you demand people to use your pronouns because they don't know that you are trans, and then you snap at them for not using your pronouns like you are in this video, you come out as shoving it in their face.
Which is a really gross argument that reminds me of when people would say, oh, I'm okay with you being gay, just don't kiss your partner in public because I don't want that shoved in my face.
It's nothing like that. And if they were doing it on purpose, then yeah, they were shoving it in people's faces.
That's what you sound like when you tell me to not shove my transgender identity in your face by talking about it in my videos. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch.
Good on you. But that's not gonna stop me from making a video response to you.
So to sum up my response, no, I don't purely get harassed because of my transgender identity, but you have to try really, really hard to ignore the transphobia that I get if you're willing to say that I am not attacked for being transgender. That does play a role in this conversation. All white people are racist, all men are misogynistic, all cisgender people are transphobic. The next argument I would like to respond to is this argument people make that I am not being harassed, I am just receiving criticism. By saying that I'm against roasting videos which incite harassment, I by no means mean that I'm against response videos, because response videos are awesome and they are constructive and they don't hurt people.
Response videos also do criticism, which most people call it harassment. So are you saying that they're not, or are you saying they are? And roasting and response videos are clearly different. And where can you tell me and show me where they're telling their viewers to go to their comic sections and make their lives a living hell, or to incite death threats and sexual harassment and rape threats? Can you please show me, where is your evidence? Citation fucking needed.
That's why I recently created a playlist for people who have made response videos to me, because I love getting response videos when they actually don't incite harassment.
Okay, let me get this straight here. You have a playlist of response videos to your videos, but at the same time, you won't respond to them because, as you say...
To me, that's a waste of time. And a lot of them do really make me think, and I greatly appreciate them. Can't overemphasize how much I appreciate response videos.
Clearly, you didn't learn a lot from them because you're still spouting off that there are so many genders that it's infinite. Clearly, you need to keep watching those videos and revisiting them. Because I have a little dark secret. I used to be a feminist. Yep. This robot used to be a feminist. Until I watched Sargon of Akkad's videos. Every video I saw, I watched in depth. I looked through his data. I looked all through his evidence. And, well, now I'm not. And I see all this social justice warrior propaganda, and I know this is bullshit, and it's toxic, and it's dangerous. Hell, we got Black Lives Matter people killing cops. We see them demanding segregation, which their grandparents, their great-grandparents fought, got severely harmed to end it. It's utter madness when you think about it.
The reason why the majority of these roasting videos are not actual critique videos is because they all engage in quote mining, aka they take parts of my videos out of context and respond to the argument that it seems like I'm making in those clips, even though if you watch the entire video, that's not actually the argument that I'm making.
You know what would help you right now? Some evidence. How about some links in your description on what roasting videos you're talking about, because you're giving us nothing. We need a citation. Can you give us a citation to these roasting videos, please? So you don't look like you have nothing and just went in front of a camera and just spouted off what you think should happen.
To me, that's a waste of time. That's why I changed the title of my video about subconscious biases, to hopefully redirect people to the point that I was actually making, instead of just the most controversial line that everyone likes to take out of context.
And which line would that be? Is it the one where you call all cis people transphobic, all white people racist, and all men are misogynistic? Which part did we not interpret it right? Which part? Please tell me. Enlighten me.
A lot of people were upset that I didn't talk about my subconscious biases video in my video about harassment. I don't really see that as being relevant to the conversation. Again, because of the quote mining, people weren't actually responding to the argument that I made.
What argument? You basically just said all white people are racist, all cisgender people are all transphobic, and men are misogynistic. What point of that did we not interpret right? Are you fucking kidding me? You basically made that video saying you were inspired by what everyone calls Black Hitler. His name is Black Hitler to most. Who said that he believes that all white people has stolen every piece of technology from black people from Africa?
In the video. Since that video has completely basically lost all meaning because of the quote mining, I am remaking that video to re-argue my points and do things better than I did the first time around. That's why I didn't talk about it in my video about harassment.
People weren't quote mining it just for fun and games because you actually believe this. You actually believe that all cis people are transphobic. You believe that all white people are racist, and you believe that all men are misogynistic. It's like what they did with Sargon of Akkad against Anita Sarkeesian. Also, I did look through that video, and basically that one quote is the entirety of the video of you backing up your claim that all of what you just said was true.
Also, if you in any way think that I deserved harassment for making that video, you are a terrible human being, and you should rethink why saying something wrong on the internet is means for continuous harassment for months after the fact.
I absolutely agree with you on that. No one should be harassed that long or harassed in general. Get death threats, rape threats, doxing, swatting. I don't agree with it. And if anyone I knew, friends, family, whomever, did this sort of thing, I cut them off entirely. They have lost total credibility with me, and I would never trust them again.
I have responded to lots of people who gave me actual good criticism. I just don't see the point in responding to people who don't actually argue against the actual argument that I made. To me, that's a waste of time. Lastly, I want to respond to the comment that, oh, this harassment isn't that big of a deal because it's all in your head.
It clearly is in your head. Look, I get bullying because it's in your face. It's physical. I've dealt with it. I do not and will never get cyberbullying. Block. Mute. Don't look at it. That's all you have to do. The only threat you have is hacking and doxing and swatting. Those are the three main things you have. That's it. That's it. It is in your head.
The thing is, that's the way that harassment online largely works. People want to make you live in fear if they think it'll somehow control your actions or make you change what you're doing online, which is wrong. It's wrong. That's why people threaten to dox people and threaten to harm people. Even though the majority of these threats don't come to fruition, it still means that people will live in fear of saying what they want to say because of the threat of doxing or of physical harm.
The doxing part, I get, but it is Russian roulette with these things. And physical harm, I don't get that. Until they get doxed, that is the only way they can get physically harmed. There is a block button. Use it. You want to turn off your comment section? Do it. I do not care. But please, do not label everything of criticism harassment. You don't, which is a good thing. Maybe you're learning from other people and possibly you are changing your views. Hopefully one day you're on our side. But for now, I and other people like me are going to be against you and are going to continue making these response videos.
I'm dealing with some pretty scary and creepy people out there. I can't really talk about everything that I'm dealing with. I just appreciate it when people will condemn people who try to actually cause harm or threaten harm to people because of what they say online, because that's wrong. In all cases, it's wrong.
You know, near the end of this video, we start to agree on one thing. It is all this true, horrible things that could happen on the internet. But you're right, I wouldn't condone these things. I'm not inciting these things. And you're not saying that everyone who's made a response video are inciting all this towards you. So you have redeemable qualities to you.
I think I hit on most of the main arguments. If you want someone to use as an example for how to make good response videos that actually criticize someone's ideas and don't incite harassment, I think a wonderful person to check out would be Megan Tonjes, because Megan Tonjes does response videos in just the most beautiful way.
Just when I started to like you, you bring up a social justice warrior who is running with the fat acceptance movement and body awareness movement. Come on, Milo. Really? Really? You chose her instead of, I don't know, someone who's not a social justice warrior, someone you don't agree with. Could you have chosen someone completely different other than her? Really?
It's just that a response video gets dangerously close to being a video that incites harassment.
And now you've completely strayed away from being likable again. God damn, I need another drink.
When it engages in quote mining, when it personally attacks the person in the original video, when you have that inappropriate tone that I talked about in the first video, and then when you have all those things together and then you provide a very easy way to access the original video, that's how you incite harassment. Alright, peace!
In closing, if you don't want anything like that, just block, mute, ignore, whatever you gotta do, because you cannot control people. You can't control what they do, you can't control their actions, you can't control your mind. So that is the end of this video. If you like what you see, subscribe, push that like button, and if you want to support me, here's my Patreon account. And I will see you meatbags in the next video.
Get the